Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, I am Lily of Lily's Book Vlog, and today, if you haven't already known, I'm gonna go over my September TBR. It is currently the end of August right now, or close to, a couple days before. We're gonna go over the ones that I hope to read kind of in September. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, some books that I'm currently reading might end up also on it because I might not finish them in time, but we will see. This time I didn't do a TBR jar. I did a little something different. I let each of my daughter pick 2 books, and then my husband picked a book, and then I picked 2 books. So we did it that way, and this is how it is, and I'll show you what I got. You can kind of see back here a little bit of what they are, but let's go over it. First, my oldest daughter picked Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I have never read Ashley Poston. I've seen her around. I know tons of people love her 7-Year Slip books. I saw mixed reviews for Novel Love Story, I think it is. And I think this is like a second one from that, but I don't think they're like connected to where I have to read them. So we're gonna see how this is. I know she deals with kind of like magical realism, or where it's basically like real life, but like with a little magical twist that's like not explained real well. So we'll see how that goes. But this is one of the books that were picked. This is one I picked, Truly Devious. This is YA, I think it's like mystery, like kind of thing, like crime mystery, something. It says mystery, so I am right on that, and it is YA. But I've been seeing, I wanted to get this book for a while, and it wasn't at one of my libraries, and then I finally found it at another library I went to, and I was like, I'm gonna grab the physical copy because I am one who I do so much better with a physical copy, but that's because in a way I kind of slightly cheat, and I'll read like the last page or 2 usually in some books. So there's some things in here. So that's why I think I like the physical books better. It's just because I can kind of skip ahead and see something, and maybe if I'm like not liking the book so much, I can skip and be like, you know what, this part looks interesting. So, but I've heard good things about this and stuff, and that it's really interesting and quick and fast and easy and stuff. So I'm curious about this one. And then the next one that one of my daughters picked was Immortal Consequences. This one I honestly got as a book a month book last month, I think. July to August, I think. I'm not sure. It tells you on here, but I got this one, and it's so pretty. And that's mainly why I got it. It was so pretty. And it looks interesting. I think it has it where it's kind of like fantasy and stuff. I think kind of like academic fantasy or something, maybe. It does say academic, so that's why I'm like academic. But it looks interesting, and I haven't seen anyone read it. Like, I've seen tons of people get it in their book of the month boxes, like on YouTube, when they get them, and they're like, look, but I haven't seen anyone actually read it. So I'm really interested in getting into this one. And then, kind of to stay on theme, my daughter's decided to kind of go with a pink theme, except one of the books isn't pink. This next one is pink, but then the book after is connected to this one, so you'll see what I mean. So next is The God of the Woods. This was a book of the month, what was it, book of the year, book of the month pick. So it has it where, since I was like their BFF thing, where I've been with them for over a year, I get the book of the month or book of the year pick for free. So this was that one. It has the pink. If I remember, this is kind of like I think it's a thriller. I think it has something to do with girls who go camping and one girl ends up going missing, and then a few years later something happens to where it's coming back and stuff. So kind of interested in this. Perfect too for kind of fall, I think, if it is thriller. I think thriller time is really good for fall. And then, like I said, they were sticking with a pink theme, and then this one went with the green from this book, and that's Wayward. Also a book of the month. They picked a ton of my book of the month books that I haven't read, and it's funny because I was kind of almost going to do a video where I just read a bunch of my book of the month books, and instead they picked a bunch of my book of the month books for me to read, so that's interesting. This one, I honestly have no clue what it's about. I just thought it looked interesting, and the books that book of the month had at the time were not ones I wanted, and then this one was one of the extra picks, and I was like, you know what, why not? And by the way, not sponsored too. I know I'm saying book of the month a lot, and I know people get sponsored, but I'm not. Okay, I just have a ton of their books that I have not yet read, and apparently this month we're going to be reading a ton of them. So this one, it looks like it says, okay, so I'm not 100% sure, but there's a bunch of different years. We have 2019, 1619, and 1942. And basically it just says, weaving together the stories of 3 extraordinary women across 5 centuries. It's an astonishing debut and an enthralling novel of female resilience. So, sounds interesting. So, I don't know about that one, but we will see. This is one that I picked from the library. It looked interesting. It's called The Ballad of Perilous Graves. And this one is kind of a sci-fi fantasy that has it where it's set in New Orleans, a town that's similar to New Orleans. It's called NOLA. And basically they run on a magic system of where like music like is in there and it controls the rhythm and stuff. And it talks about like it has a cute little map. And it talks about how music and magic, it's a place of sky trolleys and dead cabs where haints dance the night away and wise women help keep it in order. It's a world of everyday miracles, and Perry, who may not have a talent for magic, but does know Nola's rhythm as intimately as his own heartbeat. So when the city's great magician starts appearing in odd places and essential songs are forgotten, Perry realizes trouble is afoot. So 9 songs of power have escaped the piano that maintains the city's beat, and without them, Nola will fall or fail. Unwilling to watch his home be destroyed, Perry will sacrifice everything to save it. But a storm is brewing, and the haint of all haints is awake. Nola's time might be coming to an end. So, like I said, this one looked interesting. Like I said, I don't know why the cover, like, I was just like, you know what? I want to check it out. I didn't even read it. I just saw the cover and I was like, I'm going to grab it. Then I read the summary, I guess you would say. And I was like, that sounds really interesting. I want to check it out. So, this is my other pick. And then my husband's pick is Stephen King, Billy Summers. So, I think I was supposed to read this a long time ago. This or Fairy Tale by him. And in my video where I was reading books from authors I had never read before, and instead I think I read a couple of other books and then just a bunch of books that were not on my TBR at that time. So I am going to do this one. I know a little bit about Stephen King and his stuff, but I think I'm going to plan to do a whole video in regards to this one and stuff. So that is probably going to be what is on the lookout right now, is hopefully a video of this. And I know I was going to do a video before of some stuff too. But again, it's August and my kids started school and things are just a little chaotic right now. And I have to sneeze so bad. But anyways, like I said, those are for now the books I plan on reading. Like I said, I have 2 books I am currently reading right now. One I think I should finish before September, and the other one I 100% won't, which is funny because it was part of my August TBR, which is Crown of Midnight. So I'm gonna probably finish that one up and have that review up for September's reading wrap up. But those are the 2 that I am one that I'm currently reading, and then the other one I should finish. And then of course I'll go over all the books I read in August. I'm losing my mind forgetting what days and months it is. But I will do that to where I will tell you what books I'm reading or read in August. See, now I can't speak. What books I read in August, and we'll go over what ones I finished in my August TBR, where I did pick, I think, 5 or 6 books and stuff out of my TBR jar and stuff, and we'll go over those and the other books I read, because obviously I don't do very good sticking to a TBR sometimes. I did actually do a pretty good job this time, but I did also not. So we'll go over that, but that is what I'm going to read this month of September. And let me know what you guys are reading or what ones you've read from my stack that I'm going to read, and your thoughts and ideas. And as always, make sure you like and follow and subscribe, and we will see you in a few more days when I do my August wrap up. Bye!